Aussiedoodles get sold as the best of both worlds. In real life, they're more like two worlds stacked on top of each other with no pause button. One minute, you've got a gorgeous, goofy cuddle-bug. Next minute, they're hurting your guests, inventing a home renovation project with their teeth, and staring at you like you're the one who needs training. If you're thinking about getting one, or you already have one and you're quietly Googling, "Is this normal?" this is for you. Here are 9 things no one tells you about owning an Aussiedoodle. Number 1. Your Aussiedoodle might try to herd your life. The first time your Aussiedoodle cuts you off in the hallway like a tiny security guard, you realize this dog came with opinions and traffic control instincts. Aussiedoodles can inherit the Australian Shepherd's herding brain, then add Poodle smarts on top, which sometimes turns into Althicide where everyone goes. It can look like circling, body blocking, ankle nudging, or shadowing you so closely you trip over them. Some even get weirdly invested in supervising guests, kids, or other pets. A trainer describing a young Aussiedoodle nailed the vibe saying, "Jack follows his guardian everywhere, and with that herding heritage, I'm pretty sure he thinks she belongs to him. This can be dangerous if it turns into nipping." The fix is giving that brain a job that isn't policing your household. Teach a solid stay, reward calm watching, and use structured games like scent finds, trick chains, and short impulse control drills so they practice self-control on purpose. If you don't give that herding brain a real job, it'll promote itself, and your household becomes the shift schedule. Number 2. They can stay wired even after enough exercise. Your Aussiedoodle can run a 5K, come home, and still look at you like he just drank espresso. This is one of the biggest surprises new owners share. You finally tire the body out, and the brain stays online. Aussie drive plus Poodle intelligence can create a dog that struggles to downshift, especially after high arousal play like non-stop fetch, dog parks, or chaotic roughhousing. That can't settle energy isn't them being bad, it's them being overstimulated and not knowing how to power down. A common owner description sounds like, "I thought I needed more exercise. Turns out I needed an off switch. 2 hours at the park and he still stared at me like, cool, what's next?" What actually helps is teaching calm on purpose. Build a real off switch, a place cue with rewards for staying, short decompression sniff walks, lick mats or frozen Kongs after exercise, and enforced nap time like it's part of training. Do that consistently and you get the version of an Aussiedoodle people think they're bringing home, tired, sweet, and finally able to chill. Number 3. The cute doodle expectation is a trap. People see an Aussiedoodle and picture a fluffy couch buddy that's happy with a couple walks and vibes. Then the dog shows up with Australian Shepherd drive and Poodle problem solving, and suddenly your pet is pacing like it's late for a job you never scheduled. This mix often needs real daily outlets, not just exercise, but brain work that actually tires them out. Without it, they'll invent their own assignments, usually the kind that involves noise, chaos, or rearranging your home's interior design. One owner put it in a way every Aussiedoodle person recognizes. "Everyone told me doodles are chill. Mine needs a long walk, training, a puzzle, and then still follows me around like he's waiting for the next task. If I skip the brain stuff, he gets creative." Plan for a dog that wants structure, challenges, and a purpose. If you give them that, they're incredible. If you don't, they'll make the schedule for you. Number 4. Your friendly puppy can randomly become a leash-reactive teenager. One week, your Aussiedoodle is waving at every dog like they're running for mayor. The next week, they're barking at a jogger like it's a personal betrayal. This surprises a lot of owners because the early puppy phase can look social and easy. Then maturity hits, the brain gets sharper, the feelings get bigger, and suddenly your dog starts reacting on leash. Barking, lunging, frustration. "I must investigate that person right now," or the opposite. Absolutely not. Keep it away. It's especially common when they're overstimulated, underrested, or stuck doing crowded walks where they can't create space. In fact, one owner described the whiplash like this. He was everyone's best friend at 6 months. At 11 months, he started losing it at dogs on leash. Same dog, new opinions, volume turned up. Start building neutrality, not forced greetings. Create distance, reward calm check-ins, and use short pattern games so they know what to do when something triggers them. The goal isn't a social butterfly. It's a dog who can walk past life without starting a debate. Number 5. A bored Aussiedoodle will assign themselves a job. Boredom doesn't make an Aussiedoodle mopey. It makes them entrepreneurial, and your house is the startup. 1 minute, everything's fine. The next, you're staring at a renovation you didn't approve. Shredded cushions, gnawed chair legs, a torn up roll of paper towels, or a trash can they can open like they had thumbs and a grudge. It's easy to label it spite, but most of the time it's simpler than that. Aussie drive plus Poodle brains with nowhere to go. If they don't get structure, they'll manufacture stimulation, and the nearest object becomes the project. In fact, one owner put it like this. I left for 30 minutes and came back to a pillow explosion. He wasn't guilty. He was proud, like he'd completed a quest and expected praise. Give them daily outlets that feel like work. Sniff heavy walks, food puzzles, training reps, and a chew that's actually allowed. When their brain is busy on purpose, your furniture stops being the assignment. Number 6. Your Aussiedoodle's coat will change the rules mid-game. Somewhere between puppy fluff and adult coat, your Aussiedoodle can switch textures like they downloaded a new operating system overnight. 1 week, they're easy to brush. The next, you're finding tight little knots behind the ears, under the collar, in the armpits, and at the base of the tail. That coat change phase blindsides a lot of owners because mats don't look serious until they suddenly are. One Aussiedoodle owner described it like this. Thought I was brushing fine, then my groomer lifted a curl and it was basically a felt blanket underneath. She said, this is the puppy coat betrayal stage. What keeps you out of shave-down territory is thorough brushing to the skin, not just the top layer. Plus, regular professional grooms before tangles turn into one solid helmet. Stay ahead of it, and the coat stays cute. Fall behind, and the clippers win. Number 7. Merle can be a breeding minefield if you don't ask the right questions. Aussiedoodles can come in those stunning Merle patterns that make people stop mid-scroll. But here's what nobody advertises in the cute puppy photos. The Merle gene isn't something you can just wing your way through. If a breeder pairs Merle to Merle, the risk of serious problems goes up, including hearing and vision defects linked to double Merle outcomes. And because Aussies commonly carry Merle, it shows up in Aussiedoodles often enough that buyers need to pay attention. In fact, one owner put it bluntly saying, I thought Merle just means pretty. Then my vet asked if the breeder did genetic testing, and I realized I never even asked. Never again. So when you're choosing a puppy, ask for the parent's color genetics and proof they're breeding responsibly. If they dodge the question or act offended, that's your answer. A gorgeous coat is not worth rolling the dice on preventable risk. Number 8. One tiny gene can turn normal meds into a big deal. The scariest vet surprise isn't the bill. It's learning your Aussiedoodle might process certain medications unlike the average dog. That's the MDR1 drug sensitivity issue that can show up in herding line genetics. And it's one of those things owners usually discover after something feels off. MDR1 is testable, and it matters because dogs with the variant can have outsized reactions to specific drugs on certain doses that are routine for other breeds. It doesn't mean your dog is weak. It means you want your vet to have the full picture before sedation, new prescriptions, or even switching parasite preventatives. One owner put it like this. Mine got weirdly wobbly and zonked after a med the vet said was super common. I went home, Googled MDR1 at 2 a.m., ordered the test, and now I keep the results saved like it's my dog's passport. Do the cheek swab test. Save the result in your phone and mention it anytime meds come up. Because with this breed, the difference between routine and rough night can be one unmasked question. Number 9. Low shedding isn't guaranteed with an Aussiedoodle. The day you spot a little fur tumbleweed cruising across your hallway is the day Doodle stops sounding like a promise. Aussiedoodles are a coat coin flip. Some lean poodle and shed very little. Others take after the Aussie side with more shedding, more undercoat, and way more lint roller moments than people expect. And even when shedding is low, allergies can still flare because it's not just hair, it's dander and saliva too. In fact, one owner joked, "I bought the hypoallergenic Doodle dream and somehow got a sensational shedding event. My black leggings have become a scrapbook of my dog." If allergies matter, don't gamble. Spend time with the dog first. Ask what the parents' coats are like, and be skeptical of any breeder who guarantees non-shedding. Plan for routine brushing, regular baths, and an air purifier if you're sensitive. Because the surprise isn't that Aussiedoodles can shed, it's how confidently people assume they won't. Hey, if you enjoyed this, you'll probably love this video here. And if you hit subscribe, I'll donate a meal to a rescue dog on your behalf.